Before we go further into this video, this isn't about individual gameplay, it's about the game itself. Now, 1 month ago, I made a post on my channel. So we're going to discuss the replies, discuss what my own thoughts are, and let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section. And I really hope Nordeus is listening. The first thing we need to talk about is how we let our jerseys just go like that. I'm talking about the kits that we bought. When Top 11 updated the game to 3D, they made all their jerseys obsolete. Imagine if another game did that. Imagine you log into Fortnite or Apex Legends and they tell you due to the updates, you can no longer use your skins, you have to buy new ones. Do you realize how fucked up that is? Yeah, I'm not mincing my words, I'm really serious right now. We need our jerseys back. And I really can't blame it. The Top 11 community doesn't fight, we just go elsewhere. And you can see that all over. The viewership and the people playing the game are reducing because of things like this and other things that we're going to discuss in the video. But I feel like that thing was a very negative thing and Nordeus should do something to give us back our jerseys. And I know they have the information, they can do it, but they just don't want to do it. And I think they think they are free right now, eh? We did it, no one complained. Well, UG Witch Doctor has complained. You guys need to give us back our kits. Now the next thing I want to talk about is from a fellow content creator called Miltiadis. I'm going to leave his message on the screen right now. You can pause if you want to go into detail about it. But what he was talking about is that we need custom quick tournaments to be made into the game. Now, I agree with him completely because this adds more value to the game. And this can also be used to build like a competitive scene for the game. Like, we have this associations. Associations are not competitive. No one cares. You see, whether you're top 100 in the world, there is no value to it. You see, that's the problem with Nordeus. It's so monotonous and boring. You see, when you compare like Top 11 to Clash of Clans, they're always innovating in Clash of Clans. But in Top 11, everything stays the same. Now, I also want to give a shout out to this guy. I really can't say his name because it's probably Russian or Ukrainian. But he left a very long message. This guy actually cares about the game. And I think you guys who are watching this also care about the game. He talked about very many things, but the first thing he talked about was faces on players. Look at Top 11. There has been almost zero innovation since they made 3D. They have said they have been adding small things, but we don't need those small things. We want big things to come through. Recently, they released a video about how they have been making 3D and blah 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 blah. They're trying to like make up for the mistakes they have been making. But we don't have indirect free kicks in the game. The players have no faces. They are randomized. How? How do you expect us to take you guys seriously when the game is in this state? Look at it. Compare it to the other games. They are saying they are a football simulation, but everything to do with Top 11 does not match with real life football. If you are to play Top 11 the way you play real life football, you're not going to get far. You're going to end up having really weird formations that don't make any sense. You're going to be having weird setups. You guys know what works in Top 11. It's not realistic. And that's the disconnect this game has from real life. Now, what I want to add on to this is that maybe they can add scalable graphics. You see, for different games, you can play with any machine, but Top 11, once they released 3D, they were like, you know what? Fuck you guys with the shit phones. You guys are not getting 3D. Other games, you can play with a very bad laptop without a GPU. That's how I used to play Fortnite, by the way, back in the day, before I switched to Top 11. And the same game can be played on a very good phone and it will look very good. I think Top 11 needs an element like that. Someone else also talked about it in that comment section. Like right now it looks like an amateur game. The player movements are so bulky. You can't even edit the player features. What kind of game is that? Every football game you can edit the player and make them look the way you want, apart from Top 11. Now the next thing I want to talk about is the gameplay revolving, fouls and the whole free kick situations. I've talked about we don't have indirect free kicks in the game. That's already weird. We don't even have the rebounds. Like the keeper can punch the ball out, It's just there. The striker can't react to get the ball. That is not realistic. And also free kicks. It's so easy to score free kicks in this game. But in real life, you guys, how many times does a player score a free kick in real life? Top 11, you can score a hat-trick of free kicks in one match. And I think I understand why. Because people have these extremely overpowered players. You have like, a mutant with 300 against a goalkeeper who has about 180. Of course, that guy is going to score. So the only way they can fix this is if Nordeus can reduce that limit of the mutants from 380 to 240. Yes, that change is necessary. It will first of all change the entire top 11 meta. No one will be making mutants anymore because that stuff is the reason why the game is stagnant. They have to react. It has to be a radical change if top 11 is to get any better. Now the next point needs no explanation. Stop making the game pay to win. I mean, I know they have tried this out, especially with special sponsor. Special sponsor is now more valuable than before. But the challenges are not easier. They are just as annoying as before. And they make no sense. Like, why would you give me a player as reward 18 that I'm going to use for only 3 days of the season at the end? We should be able to finish these challenges and at least utilize the rewards for a certain amount of time. That's adding value to special sponsor. But if you want that value early enough, this is what Nordeus makes you do. Pay 25 tokens for every stage till the end. That is very unfair. And you wonder why people are not buying your things. Now let's talk about my own opinions about how we can improve top 11. And as usual, these are just my opinions. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. If you think something different or you think I'm overreacting, because I'm very prone to that. The first thing is that we need coaches that can be used across different seasons. So you see a coach, those coaches from like special sponsor or the other different events. Why do I have to use that coach this season? Why can't I keep that coach for next season? Think about it. That would add more value into the coaches. And if I see a coach I want, for example, let's say this coach can teach this play style. If I can get that coach and keep him, later on a couple of seasons later with that play style, that's valuable. I've bought the guy. I'm keeping him when I use him. But this time around, if there is that play style, you have to use him this season. Really? Nordeus, does that make any sense? Like, you guys who make these decisions at Nordeus, come on. I'm willing to have a discussion with you guys how you think, but you guys never respond to my emails. Anyway, that's I already said that before. Let's just move on to the next point. We need more tactical play. Like, how can you have only 8 things to choose from? Football is very diverse. Very many things can happen. Yes, they introduced weather, but weather is just like an attribute downgrade if you think about it. Weather just makes some attributes of the game worse and some attributes of the game better, depending on the situation. That's just it. There is nothing special about the weather in top 11. If it's raining, your players can't pass short. You just go long. If it's sunny, your players are going to get tired faster. So you start the game slow and ramp up the pressure later on. If it's going to be cold, your players are going to get injured easily, so you don't want them running around a lot. Use your short passing. It's so simple to beat these things. We need more things. I want to tell this player, attack or be ready to always counter attack. Each individual player, I want a certain setup. We can have different things. Stay back while attacking, especially for the fullbacks. The fullbacks are so dumb in top 11. Yes, the DL and the DR. We need to do something about them. They can't be that useless to gameplay. Yes, they are very useless. Then you don't even need to train them for them to work well. You guys know this. Let's move on to the next point. Next thing are highlights after the game. You guys, even though you're not a content creator, you want to see the goals you scored throughout the match, especially if it has been a good match. If you have a very good comeback, you're not going to see those goals again. Yes, you're going to have the feeling, but that highlight reel at the end really adds some. You guys understand this. Let's go. Let's move on. Fuck it. Now I have 2 more things to talk about. The first thing is the transfer window. Transfer window should be more realistic. It's a football simulator. The transfer window cannot go on for the entire season. And let me give you a backstory as to why this is a bad thing that we have transfer throughout the season. It can make the game easy to abuse. Let me tell you this. Easy manipulation. If I can do easy manipulation every association weekend, me and my association, we're going to do it. So top 11, I'm telling you, you have to change things up because we're going to abuse this transfer window. I'm being straight. Fuck it. I want the game to get better. Yes. So easy manipulation every association weekend. Do you think my association can lose any weekend? We have our key players and every weekend we just buy new players. Become like 20% stronger. And at the end of the weekend we sell those players. Yes, we're going to do it. Do you guys think that is fair? So my solution to this is that we should introduce those transfer windows. I suggest first 2 days of the season, last 2 days of the season, and somewhere in between. And this is how it works. 1, we can't abuse the transfer season. 2, transfers are actually super expensive and exciting. I love bidding battles. Yeah, this really doesn't work into like the poor players. It's going to be really difficult to get nice players. But here is another thing. Make the transfer market bigger. Add so many players to it during that time period so that everyone can get what they can get. That makes the game more busy. You know, it's no longer like a redundant thing. You have like times of the season now where people will have to play or scout the transfer market waiting for the perfect player. And here is also another change to the transfer market. If I'm going to sell a player, I should be getting those tokens, not Nordeus making the token somehow disappear and my player just goes and I just receive cash. I should be able to also get those tokens, and I'm very sure 99% of you guys are going to agree with me on this. So anyway, the video is getting very long. The last point is going to be short and sweet. Take care of your content creators. Nordeus likes pretending like we don't exist. I'm not wrong. Nordeus has done nothing for the content creators ever since we did that thing whereby we tried to do something for ourselves. But did we get any reply from these guys? They just on the forum they were like, okay, yeah, we've recognized you guys exist, but fuck you guys, we're not going to do anything for you guys. So bye. And that's just sad, man. Anyways, I'll see you guys on the next video. Take care. God bless.